The Seattle Seahawks fly down to Southern California for their final meeting against the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. The Rams sit at 7-5 on the season following a blowout win against the Arizona Cardinals and need a strong finish to the season if they want to make it back to the playoffs.
We know we have another terrific opponent. It just seems like one after another after another. We just keep getting challenged by it. And the teams keep bringing special players and schemes and histories of winning and all that stuff that just makes this a great run and a great challenge. Going down to the Coliseum is always kind of fun and all that. But this starts really the fourth quarter for us, and we got to get going, and we got to play good football all the way down the stretch, and this is a very difficult challenge.
Rams running back Todd Gurley in the ground game started to look like its old self versus the Cardinals. The team put up 132 rushing yards, their highest total since week 1. Gurley, who still hasn't rushed for 100 yards in a game this year, had 95 of them.
Last time we played them, they ran a lot more 11 personnel, and I feel like this go around, there's potential chance they could be in a little bit more 12. I think they're handing the ball off to Gurley a lot more than they were the last time we played them, which I think it's in their team's benefit to give that guy the ball. So we just got to be ready for him and ready to stop him. He's fun to play against.
Strong, he's fast, he's powerful, he can break it on any down, and he's done that against us over the years, and we've seen him grow as a player and his explosiveness, and he's certainly a guy that is of our interest.
With the Rams' ground game struggling this season, their 5th-ranked passing game has made up for it, averaging over 275 yards a game.
Really productive with the throwing game. Running game numbers aren't quite as big as they've been. It's really the only difference that you would see. They're right around 100 yards a game rushing, and I think they were quite a bit more than that last year. So that's probably the only factor. But they've got a really diverse throwing game off of their play passes and then off of the gun and empties and all the things that they do. And they can throw the ball at anybody. And that was evidence last week when he threw for, whatever, 400 or something.
They still score a lot of points. They're still very good. They still have a really good quarterback, and the receivers are outstanding, some of the best in the league. So we have our hands full, dealing with them.
One new addition to the Rams since the last time we saw them is cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who has been a big boost to their defense.
Great experience, and they're trusting him, and they'll match him up sometimes on guys that they think that they need to do something special for. He's an incredible athlete and player and performer and dynamic playmaker. So we have to really know where he is at all times.
For the Seahawks, this team has continued to improve since they last faced the Rams in Week 5, especially the offense, which ranks 3rd in the league, averaging 390 yards a game.
The last time we played the Rams, it was a tough game. It went down to the wire. I think our offense is continuing to mold and continue to build. I think we've been able to run the ball extremely well. I think we've been explosive in the passing game and do some really cool things. So it's been exciting. I think it's been really cool for us and what we've been able to do and how we've been able to play at a high level. The plethora of receivers that we have, guys making plays around. Last time we played them, we had Disley. He was making plays. Now we have Hollister, who's making a lot of plays for us. And the running backs have been really sharp for us, and obviously all the receivers doing all their things.
The Seahawks offensive line will have their hands full with an outstanding Rams defensive front led by reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. Donald has a team-high 8.5 sacks. That said, the Rams only sacked Wilson once in their last meeting.
They got some really good players. Obviously, Aaron Donald is as good as there is in this league. Clay Matthews, really good player. Brockers, Fowler, they have a ton of really good players over there. And they play well, they're fast. So it's a challenge for us for sure. And the run game is going to be important. I think they really thrive in rushing the passer. So they try to make you one-dimensional and having you drop back, and that's kind of when they pin their ears back. So we want to avoid that kind of game, especially being on the road in their environment.
He's an incredible player and so suddenly explosive. I mean, just out of nowhere, he can control the game. And so you really have to do, a job to take care of him, to neutralize him. He's going to have an impact. So we just got to neutralize it as much as we can.
The Seahawks ground attack had their most productive game of the year last weekend against the Vikings, putting up 218 yards. Chris Carson and Rashad Penny created a two-headed monster that was hard to stop, and the Seahawks are hoping to see that again.
The more each one of them touches the football, the better for us. I mean, they just really whether if it's catching it, running it, whatever it is, they're extremely good with the football in their hands in terms of getting upfield, making plays, making people miss. They're physical, they can run fast. So I think that's always cool, just seeing, seeing them, process the game and how they've continued to develop it week in and week out, really for their careers. It's been an awesome thing to be a part of in the backfield with those guys and watching them just take off.
Our running game is all about the chemistry for us up front and being on the same page and, just having that kind of continuity, And so when we had that last week, we had that last year against those guys, and we're going to need that for sure this week again.
On the defensive side of the ball, the Seahawks have been very opportunistic, collecting 11 turnovers in the last 3 games. It's something they focus on throughout the week, and we've been seeing it pay off on game day.
Wanting to do our part, wanting to do something that changed the game in a positive way for our team, and really putting your mind towards it, and really at practice being more conscious of it and trying to get the ball out, trying to punch the ball. We felt like it was helping the offense too. During the practice, us trying to get the ball. And so we felt like if we can get the ball, it was going to put our team in a good chance to win. And so I think we just became a little bit more mindful of it.
Well, the Rams have had an up and down season this year, surprising many with the team coming off a Super Bowl appearance in 2018. That said, they're coming off their most complete game of the season, and the Seahawks are expecting another tough matchup at the Coliseum.
Way two different teams, and last week they were pretty hot last week. So I'm gonna take the last 3 games, and of course I watch everything. Of course you know that, but it's a different team right now. They're clicking right now. They're a good team.
Really, really good football team. The receivers, the quarterback, the running back, really good skilled players. Very explosive. That's the team that we know. They've always played us extremely well, and we've always had to compete our tails off just to be in the game. So we're expecting their very best. We have a lot of respect for them.
Well, the Seahawks win over the Rams in Week 5 snapped a 3-game losing streak, and while the last time they beat them on the road, that was back in 2017. Well, kickoff for the game is set for 5:20 p.m. under the Sunday Night Lights. You can watch it live on NBC or you can listen to it on the Seahawks Radio Network.